Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Huda Beauty Peach Pie Powder. I'm so excited to be trying this out para mis bonitas. King. And I'm actually in a new setting. I moved and I will be sharing with you guys a vlog, a moving vlog. I'm going to start vlogging this year, so I cannot wait to share with you guys the journey that I am on este año. Entonces, yeah, I just want to give you guys that update because you guys probably like, wait, what is this new background? Sí, me mudé. I moved, and I'll explain everything in my vlog, so definitely stay tuned for it. Let's go ahead and get right into this review and wear test. So Huda Beauty did announce this week that they were launching the Peach Pie palette. Now, a lot of people had talked about how they were launching a new powder and how they'd seen the display and that there was a peach shade. Y por fin nos dieron the peach shade. So this is what it looks like. It's my dog in the background. And in case you guys are wondering, it is their same easy bake formula. So if you love this loose powder, you're going to probably enjoy this, but I'm going to really give you the in-depth el día de hoy and let you guys know how this works. So let's talk a little bit about this powder. So this powder, like all the other ones, does retail for $38. This is the Peach Pie shade, and it is described as a medium to tan with warm undertones. Here you do get 0.71 ounces, 20 grams, and you can find this at Sephora. I did purchase this in store at my local Sephora, but you can also find it on the Sephora app and also on Huda Beauty's website. So this is a loose powder formula. It is a matte finish. It gives you a light coverage. It's long wearing and cruelty free. It's a lightly pigmented, silky setting powder that bakes and sets, blurs the look of fine lines, and locks in makeup for up to 10 hours with an airbrushed finish. We're going to talk a little bit about the highlighted ingredients as I apply this product on, but we're going to be using this to bake our under eyes. You guys know that I love to bake the under eyes because I do crease, and we're also going to use this all over the face to set. So I'm just going to be taking a concealer that I have right here. The one that I've been using a lot lately is the Kosas. This is in the shade 5.5, and I'm just going to be applying it aquí. My skin has been so dry lately. I don't know what's going on. I think it may be the weather. So it's really interesting because it's still oily. Like, I still get oily, but like the prepping of the skin, I have to really hydrate so that I can get a really nice finish. We're gonna be taking the powder. It looks like all the other powders, see, and I'm just taking a big puff. And we are going to begin setting the under eye. Look how effortless and smooth that looks. Like, it looks so smooth. Now, I will say this does have a scent. So if you don't like scents, just keep that in mind because you will get a scent. It's the same as other scents. It does have like that fragrancy finish. I personally don't mind it. I think it smells really good, but I know some people do not want scents on their powders. I like the fact that it is a really nice smooth finish, como pueden ver. And also I was very intrigued about this specific color in Peach Pie because of the fact that this is supposed to be great for medium to tan skin with warm undertones. I have medium tan skin. In the summer it's more tan, right now it's like more so medium, but I definitely do have that warmth in my complexion. So I appreciate when a powder is like this peachy shade because I feel like it'll just sit really nicely on the under eyes. So while we let that set, I do want to talk about some of the highlighted ingredients. So this powder does contain vitamin E, which moisturizes and strengthens the skin barrier for a smooth application, which it's definitely giving us that really nice smoothness. It also does contain rice starch powder, which absorbs any of that excess oil, which you guys know I do have an oily T-zone. Yes, I do have some dryness right now in the winter, but overall my skin is oily, so anything that will lock it into place is definitely something I appreciate. It also is a micronized powder, which allows you to layer it without it caking. So that's what I really do appreciate, is that I can go in with a few layers on the complexion and it will be good to go. So we're gonna let that set por unos minutos. Okay, so we're just gonna dust this away. What I like about this is that it doesn't make any of the other makeup separate on the face, which is really nice, which does show that it's true to claims. It's going to layer very beautifully. Eso me gusta mucho. And you guys can see it just sets everything really beautifully, effortlessly. It doesn't feel thick or heavy. It just feels perfect. So look at the difference between having the powder on and not having anything on. Like, not only does it give you a nice smooth matte finish, but it also allows for everything to look really nice and bright without looking too bright. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next eye, And I'm just going to go in with some concealer. Okay, so this is the eye with just the concealer. You guys can see there's a lot more dewiness, luminosity. Obviously the Kosas concealer is a more natural concealer, so it's gonna give you a more natural finish, a little bit of a glow. But you can tell the difference between when you powder with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and when you have nothing on. And also, like, you can see the peach pie shade, like, it just gives such a beautiful finish. This just looks so much more like effortless, seamless. It looks almost airbrushed. It just looks very stunning on the under eyes. So now we're gonna go back in with peach pie. And we're just gonna begin setting it. And I am layering it on this side, and still it just gives you a very beautiful, like, matte complexion. But this color, I really like it for my complexion. I feel like it's a really good shade. Look at the finish. Like, even the final result on here, I really like that brightness. It's not too much brightness. I feel like it's just the perfect amount of brightness. I do appreciate the fact that Huda Beauty does have different shades. I don't know exactly how many shades they have, maybe like 11 or so, but it's really good that they have different options for everybody, so everybody does have like their perfect match when it comes to this powder. Let me see if they came out with a peach pie mini size yet. Oh no. Oh yeah, they did. They have a peach pie mini. So if you want to try it out before you purchase, you can definitely get the peach pie mini. I just love how it doesn't feel heavy. A lot of powders sometimes feel heavy, and I actually already used this once because I did do some short form content for this powder. Y les tengo que decir, when I was removing my makeup, the removal was very easy. Sometimes with certain loose powders, I tend to find that when I remove makeup, it's like I'm removing layers and layers of the powder. But with this, it just seamlessly comes off when I do use my cleansing oil, which I need to use, especially when I'm removing powders off my skin. And this just removes so easily because it's such a lightweight formula. I don't leave it for too long, but I feel like this is one of those powders that, like, you do not need to worry about whether you leave it on for a little longer or a little less. Like, I feel like it does the job immediately, and it still just looks like skin. Do you see that? Like, it looks natural, but it does give you like a soft matte finish. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna go ahead and come back on camera so that we can go ahead and set the face all over, and then we can begin this wear test, because I do wanna see the longevity of this powder, especially for this shade. Pero por ahorita, this is what we have going on, and I'm very excited. Okay, bonitas, ya regresé. I finished my entire face of makeup. I got dressed for the day. I'm wearing my Ravens playoff shirts. Lo pueden ver acá. So the under eyes look absolutely flawless. Like, I can't get over how stunning these under eyes look. They just look so good. But obviously we do need to set the rest of the face because the face is a little dewy. You can use this powder to bake wherever you need to bake, whether it's the under eyes, whether it's, you know, where the blush is, all that good stuff. And then you can use this to set. So for baking, I always like to use with a puff. And then for setting, I like to use a brush. So I do want to talk about how it does when you set it. It locks in makeup for 10 hours with an airbrush finish. So eso es lo que vamos a probar now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the powder, and then I'm going to just take my brush like this, and I'm going to just start to lock everything into place. And I do appreciate how this powder is just so nice and fine, so nothing looks cakey. This entire side just looks really nice, put together very beautifully, not cakey. It doesn't feel heavy, it just feels like really nice skin. And I love the fact that I'm not getting like a white cast with this powder. I know with some brightening powders can get a little bit of that effect, but there's a reason why they came out with a peach pie, because this is truly perfect for that medium tan complexion. I mean, look at the difference it already is making. There is one more thing that I want to do before we start our day, and that is going ahead and doing a flash test. So I'm gonna pull out my phone camera. We did the flash test, and I have to say I'm not seeing flashback. The only place where I'm seeing a little bit more brightness with the flash camera is definitely the under eyes, because that is where we are brightening. So you can see a little bit of the brightness in the under eye, but it's not like flashback where it's like stark white. Right now it is 9:01 a.m. in the morning. We're gonna wear this for 10 hours, and we're gonna see how this looks. I am going to do an in natural lighting clip so you guys can see how this looks con la luz natural, the natural light, and then we can start this wear test and really give it all its wear. Like I mentioned, I do have oily combination skin. I have dry patches and dry areas during the winter, so right now I'm struggling with that, but for the most part, like by the end of the day, I will be looking dewy. So let's see how this peach pie powder by Huda Beauty works. I have to say, overall, first impressions on the color, I really am loving it. I feel like this color is so beautiful on my complexion. I feel like it complements me really well, and it's definitely a color that I feel like could work if you are around my complexion or that medium to tan skin with warm undertones. I feel like it's a really good match, especially if you're looking for something that will do great with baking and you're worried about like that very like stark white under eye. Like, you will not get that with this. I feel like you get a really good gradual effect. You get really nice brightness out of this, and I feel like sometimes for anybody it can be a little hard finding a good brightening powder, but this one, so far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and start my day. Luego las veo. Keep watching. Okay, bonitas, so here is the in natural lighting clip with the Huda Beauty peach pie powder, the Easy Bake powder. Look at the complexion. It just looks so nice, and it does look like a nice soft matte flawless finish. I like the fact that my skin still looks like the color of my complexion. It doesn't look too light or like too heavy and thick. Like, it just looks really, really good. I'll see you bonitas at the end of the day for my final thoughts. Keep watching. Yeah, I gotta say right now it is 12:43 midnight. It is literally the next day. It is Saturday y tenemos que hablar. So I've literally worn this for I don't even know how many hours, definitely been over 10 hours, but we need to talk about the peach pie powder. This is what it looks like. I feel like overall it held up my makeup very well. I also like the fact that this powder didn't dry out my under eye. My under eye area tends to be a little bit more on the dry side, so sometimes with certain powders it'll dry out the under eye area. It'll just make it look super heavy, and this I feel like just kind of became one with under eye area and just like really melted into my skin. And also I really do appreciate the fact that like the overall complexion just looks really nice. It doesn't feel heavy. So I have to say, Huda Beauty, y'all did that with this Easy Bake powder in peach pie. Obviously, we've all seen and used the formula of the Easy Bake, but I feel like this color in peach pie is perfection for anybody that's looking for like that peachy tone. For me, for my medium to tan skin, I feel like it worked really well. I feel like this is the perfect powder shade, and I'm very excited because I actually am running out of my favorite loose powder, which is the e.l.f. one. So I think I'm going to use this before I go buy another e.l.f. one. I feel like this powder is perfección, perfect to bake the under eyes, to set the entire face. I feel like for somebody with oily skin, it definitely gives you a good long wear effect, where it doesn't make your skin look too dewy. And I actually do want to point out, I did pick up the pressed powder in the shade peach pie, so if you guys want to see a comparison, let me know and I can definitely do that, whether it's on a long video or a short video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this new Easy Bake peach pie powder? I think if you're looking for a good powder for medium to tan skin, you definitely want to pick this one up. And they also have the mini, so I will link both of them below if you want to try the mini first before you commit to the full size. That's always an option, and I love when they do offer minis, so nos encanta. Y creo que eso es todo. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto. Adiós, bonitas.